Today on Investigate TV Plus, a solution to help save struggling first responders.
Literally that day when I came out of that journey, I was a different person.
How a drug off limits to science for decades could be the key to treating those battling hidden traumas.
I hope that it shows that patients are getting some relief and that it's safe.
Then a friendship forged through an extraordinary act of kindness.
If she don't know, she's my new best friend. She got a new sister.
We explore the challenges of organ donation and rewards for those giving and receiving.
Do it because you just don't know the difference that you would make in someone else's life.
And defying age.
I'm sad that I can't jump like I used to, but I really enjoy it. At 91, I shouldn't complain.
How this track and field world record holder is inspiring generations to stay active.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. Firefighters, paramedics, and police officers often risk their lives to protect and serve their communities. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell, but being first on the scene day in and day out takes courage and resilience. But the weight of what they witness can also take a toll on their mental health. Research finds first responders are at a higher risk for developing post-traumatic stress disorder. The symptoms of PTSD can include persistent, frightening flashbacks of events, sleep problems, and feeling detached from everyday life. In some cases, experts say it affects a person's ability to function at work or at home.
The state of Arizona is investing millions into what some believe could be a game changer for struggling first responders. By funding the nation's first clinical trial using whole Psilocybin mushrooms to treat PTSD, known for causing hallucinations and psychedelic experiences, researchers also say the drug can help unlock subconscious feelings so they can be processed and overcome.
Reporter Nicole Kreitz takes us inside the only lab in the country authorized by the government to grow this controlled substance. And we do want to warn you, this story discusses the topic of suicide.
I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for psilocybin.
Retired Glendale Fire Captain Mark Herman says desperation drove him to find hope for healing.
I was at that point in my life where I was done. Like, I had everything lined out how I was going to leave this place and make sure that I had my family taken care of.
He says it's impossible for acute, repetitive, and chronic trauma.
We're constantly in fight or flight.
To not take a toll on you.
We become these dopamine-driven individuals. You finish one call, before you even have time to process that, you're getting another call. I could be calm on the most chaotic scene, but then I would get home and I feel like I was drowning.
For years, first responders and military veterans struggling with PTSD had to go overseas or underground to try psychedelics.
Because the government chose to criminalize all of these like 50 years ago, we haven't had a good opportunity to research these until now.
Dr. Sue Sicily spent 20 years trying to help patients with PTSD before pursuing clinical trials.
I've always felt really gutted about the fact that I could never find good treatments for people.
She runs Scottsdale Research Institute, the only lab in the country cleared by the DEA and FDA to grow these spores for the first trial using whole psilocybin mushrooms, not synthetics.
That this could prove to be a single intervention that could last for months or even years.
More than 50 officers and 280 firefighters have already signed up.
What does it tell you that we're seeing such a long wait list?
We have people that are crying and screaming for help because they're at the end of their rope.
A lot of them are hooked on benzos or sleep aids. So really want to help them find a healthier path.
How can you help people if you have all these issues going on?
This recently retired Valley officer hopes he'll be picked for the trial.
The thought of any sort of help to making me a better parent, a more present husband, I'm excited for, even if it's 5%. I am very hopeful.
We're not showing you his face or using his name because taking hallucinogens, even marijuana, which is legal in Arizona, can be grounds for losing your job in law enforcement.
Everyone always asks, are you okay? And of course you always say yes. There's just too many risks to lose your job if you say, no, I'm not okay.
Dr. Sue says whole mushrooms are already working in the underground. It's where she got the variant for this trial.
This particular strain was a strain that was super popular among the veteran community.
It's a small trial, 3 groups of 8, dosed together with edible chocolates in their separate work groups, police, fire, and military.
Everybody's unique in how they react to it.
Not just 1 pound, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds at a time of mushrooms.
We reported before how local drug task force detectives are seeing a precursor black market boom for mushrooms ahead of this trial. A Valley teen overdosing after buying some off Snapchat.
It's already out there on the street. It's been out there for, gosh, when I was a teenager.
Arizona Senator and Navy veteran Kevin Payne chairs the Public Safety Committee.
I hope that it's a huge success. These people need help.
You didn't just help approve the trial, you pushed to get the funding for it.
It was quite a battle.
2 years ago, he sponsored a bill securing $5 million from the state budget. He's hoping this trial could pave the way to get mushrooms cleared for so-called right-to-try therapy for life-threatening conditions like PTSD and depression.
I would love to see another trial. If this one is successful, I would love to build on that.
You've gone to great lengths to make sure that this is a controlled, safe environment. Are you concerned that those standards might be compromised in a more widespread practical use?
Yes, we have to be really careful that the capitalistic forces don't start taking over. We don't want this to be just an assembly line of people just going through it very mechanically.
It won't stop her from trying to do the right thing.
I hope that it shows that patients are getting some relief and that it's safe.
I show up different as a husband, as a father, as a friend, a son.
Mark will be a dosing monitor and one of 4 trial facilitators guiding patients through the process with a specially trained canine.
When I had my psilocybin experience, literally that day when I came out of that journey, I was a different person.
Now driven by hope instead of desperation, he wants to help others overcome the same burdens behind the badge.
I have a peace and a calm about me now that I don't think I've ever had.
Researchers said trial participants began in January of 2026 with edible chocolates in a controlled environment. They will then be tracked in their respective work and core support groups. Initial findings are expected in May.
We also reached out to AZ Post, the Peace Officer Standards and Training Board in Arizona. They told us while no active officers are allowed to use even recreational marijuana, any other drug with a doctor's prescription is up to the discretion and policy of each individual department. A reminder, if you or a loved one are facing mental health struggles or emotional distress, you can dial 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline anytime. Your conversations are free and confidential.
Still ahead, forever linked by a Facebook post.
For whatever reason, that day I was like, oh, I could do that.
How her generosity helped to give a stranger a second chance at life.
Then later, a remote island in the Gulf becomes refuge for some colorful visitors.
There's a lot of good flamingo habitat out here.
We travel to vital land normally off limits to humans for an up-close look at how it's providing a sanctuary for birds to thrive. Living organ donation, a critical solution to a problem facing tens of thousands of Americans.
Every day, 13 people die waiting for an organ transplant. As a living organ donor, you can donate 1 kidney, part of your liver, and certain other organs and tissues.
Living organ donation is critically important because that precious gift of life is literally the difference between life and death for people on the waiting list. The wait for a deceased donor kidney is far too long.
For a patient in Memphis, Tennessee, doctors told her she would have to wait 5 to 7 years for a kidney. But she says her prayers were answered a year and a half after being placed on the waiting list.
Reporter Kim Clark shows us how a Facebook post connected 2 strangers and led to a life-saving donation.
So I let God lead me.
Jenny Joyner is a busy wife and mother of 3.
We have 4 dogs and a cat. So yeah, my oldest is a senior, my youngest is 10, and my middle child has Down syndrome. So we have lots going on.
Especially since Jenny embarked on an unexpected medical journey spurred on by social media. Tell me how this all came about for you to decide to be a donor, because you didn't donate for someone you knew.
Facebook and God, to be honest. So a friend of mine posted on Facebook about the opportunity to be a living donor, and she knew someone who needed a kidney. So for whatever reason, that day I was like, oh, I could do that.
After weeks of compatibility testing at the Methodist Transplant Institute, word came Jenny had a match. In August, she donated one of her kidneys to a complete stranger. She never met the recipient, but she did get a letter from them. Jenny knows now Stacy Hobson wrote that letter.
I just thanked her from the bottom of my heart, because I just feel it's no amount of words that I could say to thank her enough. I'm like, if she don't know, she's my new best friend. She got a new sister.
Stacy suffered from chronic kidney disease and high blood pressure and had been on the transplant wait list for 18 months. An avid traveler, she decided to forego dialysis against her doctor's wishes and just try to live life to the fullest.
But I'm like, if I can't do the things that I love, it's not living for me. And he told me, you're not going to be here. And I made peace with God.
The same month Jenny began testing, Stacy was traveling through Greece when she said she suddenly felt at peace.
I just prayed. I asked God. I said, Lord, you know what I want. You know what I want. I pray that my will aligns with yours.
Shortly after returning from her trip, Stacy got the call from Methodist.
You have a match. And I was like, huh? And I literally screamed.
Stacy headed into her August transplant surgery with a smile on her face and love in her heart for the person whose selfless act likely saved her life.
I've been praying, and I just felt like it was God that heard my prayer and placed it on her heart.
Stacy, I want you to meet Jenny Joyner.
In early November, Stacy and Jenny met for the first time.
I hope you're doing well.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
Both fully recovered and back to their normal lives.
It is perfect.
Oh, good.
It is perfect.
Now, forever connected by something greater than them, and yet no bigger than the hollow of his hand.
If I had 3 kidneys, I would give another one.
If God has placed it on your heart, because it may not be for everyone, but if it is, then do it, because you just don't know the difference that you would make in someone else's life.
There are more than 100,000 people on the national transplant waiting list, and 85% need a kidney.
Experts say a kidney from a living organ donor not only helps decrease a recipient's wait time on the list and their need for dialysis, but research has shown they have better outcomes than those receiving organs from deceased donors.
And most living organ donors go on to live active, healthy lives.
However, living donors sometimes face barriers such as insurance discrimination or the potential for out-of-pocket expenses that are not reimbursed. Some states have taken steps to help limit those costs. You can learn more about registering and the support for living donors on InvestigateTV.com. Just search organ donations.
Still to come, a remote barrier island in the Bayou State has become an unexpected gathering spot.
13 or 14 American flamingos, which is unprecedented for Louisiana.
We set out with wildlife biologists in search of the tropical bird to find out if they're here to stay. To help protect nesting pelicans, Louisiana rebuilt a barrier island southwest of New Orleans. Now it's getting attention for attracting a more colorful species, the flamingo.
Reporter Dave McNamara takes us to Raccoon Island for an in-depth look at why experts believe the bright pink bird might have stopped in the Bayou State.
It's about an hour by boat from Cocodrie to Raccoon Island, one of Louisiana's most remote barrier islands. It's a small but vital refuge for seabirds and lately home to a surprising visitor.
13 or 14 American flamingos, which is unprecedented for Louisiana.
In the last couple of years, wildlife biologists and fishermen have spotted as many as 14 American flamingos here.
So we're hoping to see if those guys were still around.
Louisiana wildlife and fisheries biologist Rob Dobbs and John Weeb are on the island hoping for another look. This island has been engineered and rebuilt over the past 2 decades to provide coastal protection and an ideal bird habitat.
It goes along with history, really. The island has always maintained a large population of colonial waterbirds.
Numerous species of birds hang out on Raccoon Island, loafing along its shoreline and foraging for food in the sand and grass and around interior ponds.
What is it about this island? It's about a mile or 2 long. What makes it such a great habitat for all these birds?
For one thing, not a lot of people come out here, right? So the birds aren't disturbed very much. They're small and they're isolated, and those are 2 of the attributes that are really the most important factors when thinking about our colonial waterbirds, for sure. And that is because they tend to be predator-free.
We see a variety of shorebirds. Dobbs spots a seldom seen piping plover, a small bird that's threatened by habitat loss. And standing in the shallow water, a reddish egret.
This is, the rarest egret in North America.
In the spring and summer, brown pelicans by the thousands will nest among the mangrove bushes on this island. And after walking the island, biologists are impressed with what they're seeing.
We've seen about 36, 37 species of birds, really good numbers. And I should say about almost half of those species are species of greatest conservation need, as identified in the Louisiana Wildlife Action Plan.
But despite recent sightings, today the large pink flamingos are nowhere to be found.
There's a lot of good flamingo habitat out here, right? There's this island we're currently standing on. There's similar habitat at Whiskey Island, at Trinity Island, and in the saltwater marshes just to our north.
Dobbs and other bird experts believe the flamingos were pushed to unusual areas of the United States when Hurricane Idalia passed between the Yucatan and Cuba 2 years ago.
And I don't think it's, unreasonable to think that it's possible here, especially with a group of 14 birds, but time will tell.
You're not giving up on them?
Not giving up quite yet.
But even without its rare visitors, Raccoon Island is providing for all types of coastal birds. It's among a vital group of barrier islands that protect wildlife and the state's fragile coast.
Raccoon Island is part of a state wildlife refuge and is off limits to visitors.
Up next, an unstoppable drive.
If I'm slowing down, then I know I have to add a few more exercises to improve.
How a track star in her 90s is still pushing her limits and motivating all ages to get moving. Setting a high bar, imagine starting a new passion in your 60s, breaking world records, and still competing in your 90s.
Wow. Reporter Joe Carroll introduces us to the track and field star in Vermont, proving it's never too late to reach new heights.
When you walk into Flo Myler's home in Shelburne, you'll see a lot of bling.
All gold, a few silvers.
Not jewelry, but medals.
And I got 12 golds, 2 world records, pole vault, and triple jump.
You see, Flo
2021, 2011
is a big deal in the track and field community throughout the country.
I'm very, very honored to be able to inspire other seniors.
It all started when Flo was 60. Her friend Barbara Jordan,
but we don't mind losing. Well, I guess maybe we do, Flo.
convinced her to try the long jump at the Vermont Senior Games. Flo was hooked.
I miss her so much.
Barbara died more than 5 years ago. But if you think Flo has hung up her track shoes, think again. Her future is very much in motion at the University of Vermont track and field facility.
I'm sad that I can't jump like I used to, but I really enjoy it. At 91, I shouldn't complain.
That's right. Flo is 91.
So no one sets it up for you?
Oh, no.
She trains at UVM 3 days a week.
Phew! It feels fantastic. I'm the first pole vaulter in the world that's ever done the pole at 90 years old.
Here we are at 91.
Yeah.
No pole vault training today. This is video when we featured Flo at 84.
Alrighty.
Her other favorite event is the triple jump.
I really feel really warm inside because I've had so many athletes come up to me and say, what an inspiration you have been to me. So that's a wonderful feeling.
It's not just for the older folks. UVM freshman Jason Lai is in awe.
I want to be moving like you when I'm older as well.
Oh, it makes me feel like 60 again.
Flo carries equipment in her vintage Sears car that she used to pull her children.
I can tell if I'm slowing down, and if I'm slowing down, then I know I have to add a few more exercises to improve.
That discipline is what attracted her future husband, Gene.
Both on the rebound.
They've been married for 65 years.
She's impressed me, that's for sure. In fact, that's why I married her. She impressed me.
But I'm very happy the good Lord has given me my health and my talent.
And plain old hard work that goes with the flow.
Another title to add to her resume, USA Track and Field named Flo the 2025 Female Masters and Overall Masters Athlete of the Year out of thousands of athletes around the nation who compete. She is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, an inspiration. I used to run the 800. I got to get back to it.
You need to get out there in the hurdles, huh?
Hurdles, no.
No.
I was
All right,
never a
yeah, never
hurdler,
hurdler.
but I did run track, and she is inspiring.
All right, get out there.
Yes. Well, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, police pursuits can put innocent lives at risk.
People are getting killed every day. People are getting injured every day, large numbers of them. And law enforcement should do a better job at protecting, not pursuing.
We take an in-depth look at a new tool some departments nationwide have deployed and examine whether it's a safer approach to quickly ending chases.